What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the FXLR rebuild series. We are near the end. This is going to be one of the last videos before the final reveal. We have the garage looking like it's been filled with spiders, like a scene straight out of arachnophobia, where we have the Lolo covered up, we have the Sportster covered up, and a couple other items that, just in case we get a little bit of overspray, the cloud of the super wrap, it won't get onto anything that we don't want it to. All the other stuff, like the ladders, the lifts, and for the items that we just didn't want to take a chance with, we covered them up, like we have a couple seats here and there. So today what we're gonna be doing is doing the super wrap. We have already done a video on it previous that we did it on the Sportster wheels and we liked it, and the reason we decided to go with it on the lowrider, sure, we could have powder coated, been all done with it, but we wanted to see just how long the life of the super wrap is, because the lowrider sees a lot of miles, sees a lot of different weather conditions, and it sees a lot more debris from the road because of the said miles. And that way it's gonna give us more of a true idea of just how long super wrap lasts. If there's any instances where you may wanna actually just go with powder. The sporty wheels are still going strong. They're still doing really well. If you're unfamiliar with super wrap, the concept is similar to Plasti Dip. You can apply super wrap to your wheels, to your car, and when you're done with that color, you can go ahead and peel them off. Super wrap goes ahead and includes several instructions, and with super wrap, you can purchase individual cans or they have kits. What we got for your wheels is going to be the 19 to 21 inch wheel kit. The one thing I really like about super wrap, they include a hard copy instruction set for both your base coat and your color of choice. And that way you have it for visual reference when you're there, and you don't have to pull your phone out, you can just tack it on the wall and go ahead and reference it. And it's fairly straightforward. It gives you prep, mask, and color coat, top coat, and unmasking. These can also be found available on their website. You go to getsuperwrap.com and you can find it in the appropriate tab for the instructions. You have videos as well as instructions if you want to view them. If you're more of a visual learner with instructions, you're good to go. We are going to be painting gunmetal gray. It's going to be for the wheels and for the rotor plates. What we're doing here is utilizing the prep spray that comes with your kit. Super wrap has made it extremely easy in providing a kit. We're using the 19 to 21 inch wheel kit, and it gives you prep spray, your base coat, and your top coat. You shake the can for 1 minute prior to applying your first light coat, and we're inspecting for any imperfections. We didn't see any, so we're continuing with our spray. And you can find the instructions on how to spray with the time intervals in between coats on Super Wrap's website. We're several coats in. Check out our cool shorts. And then finishing up the coats. And you're gonna be doing this for both sides. There is our gunmetal. Now with those bolts, those are the old bolts that came on our wheels. We just put those in so that way we didn't have to tape off the threads, and we purchased new bolts for each side. There's the rotor plates. Okay, so we are back. We're gonna be cleaning up the garage a little bit, but that's not gonna be part of the video. You don't have to sit through me picking up bags. We have the wheels and rotors done. And we also did the brake calipers, but the brake calipers were a different color. We did those gloss black. Here is the brake caliper. It's kind of hard to see currently, but we will be showing once it's all on the bike. This is the front. We did this one gloss black. It looks pretty sweet. The wheels look amazing. We'll show you all that here momentarily. The only downside is that when we were doing the rotors, we had them on the floor on the plastic bag when we were spraying, and part of it dripped down to where the back looks flawless. Look at that. We had it laying down on the bag, and part of it collected underneath the rotor. And so when we pulled it up, part of it flaked, which is okay, but part of it had seeped here on the plate on the front. And we're gonna see if you can get the light on it. There's that little imperfection, there it is, right here. I mean, it's real minimal. People may not really notice it. Here it is, still in this little area, kinda. And they still look dope. The tricky part is gonna be removing this ring and then this rotor on here on top. It may cause some peeling. Hopefully it doesn't, and if it does, hopefully it's the rear. but it's worth a shot. The main reason we decided to go with super wrap instead of powder, and sure, it would have saved us some time because we would have had the bike back and ready, but I wanted to try super wrap on a bike that I actually ride a lot and see tons of miles, because on the Sportster, the super wrap on the wheels are doing a great job of maintaining and not really deteriorating, degrading, and they still look good. They still look flawless, but again, that only sees a couple miles. It only sees fair weather days when we go and try to do wheelies, do short rips around. But with the Lolo, that sees tons of miles. I think we're already at 19.5. It'll see an additional 5 to 10,000 for the remainder of the year, and that will give us a more true understanding of just how durable this super wrap is, because it's going to be seeing rain, it's going to be seeing lots of dirt, extreme heat, and to see if it does any flaking, etc. Look at that! That's gonna look dope. Is we're gonna do a quick cleanup. We have Oscar rolling through. He's gonna help us with that fork lower, the right one. For some reason, that fork screw at the bottom of the slider, the screw at the bottom of the slider, I already torqued it a little bit, but then again, it was just me. I had to improvise a little bit, where I put the torque wrench on top as the fork was inverted, and I just hit it with a mallet, trying to give it a little bit more extra force to turn, and it was leaking slightly, so I went ahead and did it again. And over the course of 2 days, since we were finishing up the wheels and the rotors, that there's a small leak where there's just a little bit of collection where it's probably dripping a very small amount over the course of time, but again, that's still losing fluid, and with it being near the wheel, I don't want it to cause any type of issue. So Oscar's coming over with an impact. He's gonna help me tighten that up, and while we're there, we'll probably just tighten the other one up, and we'll get everything mounted on. Now comes time to remove all the wrapping and protective bag that we placed throughout the garage on the items that we didn't want any overspray on. Here we have our calipers that we did not show us painting, but it's the same process. This is super wrapping gloss black, and we taped off and masked some areas that we didn't want. Now there is the wheel, removing the tape that covered the white wall. And thanks to Oscar for showing up and helping out. I want to give a huge shout out to Oscar. He's here cleaning out the rear. So the tricky part, as we stated, is going to be getting this retaining clip out without really peeling anything. I'm going to get that scalpel and kind of cut around it and hope that we get off with a clean slate. If anything, the back will be messed up and the front should look clean. Here is the rotor plate. And all those empty spots is where the rotor itself was. All in all, pretty cosmetically sound, baby. Now time to mount the freaking rotors over there, son. These little confetti dots, I'm not sure what they're called, but at this point we're reattaching our rotor plate to the carrier, and that rubber confetti is going to sit every other empty spot on the rotor plate. And that's just going to provide a more secure fit on your rotor plate. When doing this, be sure and place your rotor plate onto your carrier on a flat table, and with those rubber confettis, it's going to help give you a more secure fit and keep your rotors from rattling. Now they may fly out after some mileage use. We were approximately 15,000 miles with our rotors, and we had about 2 left when we disassembled them. And it just gives it a slight little rattle when your bike is moving, but it's not going to cause any fitment issues. Now comes time to reattach our front wheel to our forks. We had a little bit of alignment issue, so I had to adjust the pinch bolts a bit to slide one of the forks up or down. And then follow the same steps with the rear wheel. You're just going to reattach it, and we sprayed our rear caliper on there, so that's what we're also doing, is reattaching the caliper back to the mount. A little bit of fitment issue, so it took some finagling, but we were able to get it with the help of Oscar and Trey. If you've never removed a rear wheel, it's not too difficult. Just remember the orientation of your spacers and where everything goes. Photos are your friends.
Look, it's got a lean now, son.
Got that dyno going with that.
Other one did. Okay, I got no fucking brakes. Man, dude.
Let me see flat-footed.
You're still kind of flat-footed.
Yeah.
Ah, baby.
You gonna go figure it out?
Yeah.